All right, let's jump right into this explainer of the Zohar in Etz Chaim. We're looking at a seemingly simple ancient blessing that actually hides a monumental cosmic system override. We are zeroing in on the exact moment Yaakov stands before Pharaoh. Now, on the surface, sure, it's an old man greeting a king, but when we look through the lens of Kabbalistic mechanics, it's a completely exhaustive deep dive into an esoteric clash of spiritual systems. To decode these exhaustive mechanics, here's our roadmap. We'll start with the palace encounter, look at the anatomy of the chariot, the rogue subsystem, Jacob's harmonizing protocol, the cosmic override, and finally, integrating your dimensions. Let's start with Section 1, the palace encounter, a clash of radiance and might. We really need to shift our perspective right out of the gate. This isn't just simple history, this is a macro cosmic event playing out in real time. It's the collision of two massive energetic networks. So visualize this clash like a cinematic 4K scene. Jacob is standing before Pharaoh in this vast Egyptian palace. Picture towering pillars around them, covered in gold-etched symbols of dark majesty. Pharaoh is seated on a throne, completely surrounded by forces of absolute might. And yet, as Jacob raises his hand to bless him, a subtle, higher light descends. It literally overpowers the entire atmosphere, bending even Egypt's incredible koach, its raw power, under this hidden radiance.
The Zohar, specifically on page 211b, drops this exact phrase, "And Jacob blessed Pharaoh." This grounds our whole journey today, because it signals a moment not of submission to a worldly king, but of profound esoteric domination. It is, quite literally, an override.
Moving to Section 2, Anatomy of the Chariot, Forces of the Left. To help us understand the precise mechanics of what Pharaoh actually represents, the Zohar dissects the energetic makeup of the entities in this room. It introduces this fascinating concept of chariots, quoting the Song of Songs. It deliberately contrasts the chariots of the right, which represent holy mercy, with the chariots of the left. And Pharaoh's domain? Well, it's the ultimate manifestation of that left side. So Pharaoh is the literal embodiment of these left-side chariots. In the Sephirotic system, we're talking about unrectified Gevura, strict judgment and severe power just running entirely on its own. It's raw, it's destructive energy, simply because it completely lacks the sweetening of mercy. Think of Pharaoh as a system running on pure, unadulterated processing power from the left side. Which brings us to Section 3, the rogue subsystem, anatomy of a blockage. This builds into a genuinely fascinating tech analogy about our spiritual anatomy. Just like a powerful but unregulated subsystem running on raw processing power, Pharaoh sits at a very specific cosmic juncture. You see, the word Mitzrayim, or Egypt, literally translates to the narrow place. Esoterically, this is linked to the throat, the Geron, or the constrained area of Da'at. So Pharaoh is stationed right there at the cosmic throat, actively attempting to choke off the divine Sephirotic light from flowing down into the rest of the body. This perfectly maps the problem we are looking at. The divine energy descends, but it's bottlenecked by a rogue, unregulated node demanding complete dominion. Pharaoh, sitting there at the throat, acts as an autonomous block, basically hoarding the flow of light to feed his own left-side chariot structures.
Let's look at the solution in Section 4, Jacob's harmonizing protocol. The power of Tiferet.
To bypass this massive bottleneck, we need the ultimate spiritual administrator, and that, of course, is Jacob. The clash of their Sephirotic attributes here is absolutely stark. On the left side, you got Pharaoh representing unrectified Gevura. This is characterized by harsh red-color dynamics, mathematically represented by the 5 forces of strict judgment. But on the right, well actually, scratch that, right in the center column, we have Jacob. He is Tiferet. Pure, harmonizing balance. His color dynamics are the softening white of mercy and the green of harmony. His Sephirotic number is 6, perfectly balancing Chesed, or kindness, and Gevura, power. Ultimately, Jacob's harmonizing 6 integrates into the complete 10 Sephirot system. This establishes a holistic, unified balance that the left side just simply cannot achieve on its own. The left side fragments, but Tiferet unifies. And that sets up Section 5, the cosmic override, reprogramming the grid. This brings us to the actual mechanics of the blessing. When Jacob raises his hand, he is absolutely not submitting to a king. He is initiating a cosmic override. Mapping these ancient Sephirotic texts to modern concepts makes it so clear. In cosmic engineering terms, Pharaoh is a dominant but unstable subsystem. Jacob is a higher orchestration layer. And the blessing? That's the injection of balancing protocols that stabilize the whole network. Or, if you prefer a video game version, imagine Pharaoh is an incredibly powerful enemy faction base. Jacob is the player unlocking a special admin ability. And the blessing? That's the mechanic of converting the enemy system's grid into allied support, totally bypassing the need for direct destruction.
So here's exactly how that override executes. Jacob initiates the protocol. The blessing from holiness actually channels straight through that blockage. And here is the secret, the sod. The holiness flows even into the impure domains. It doesn't flow there to empower the impurity independently, no way. It flows there to forcefully align that raw, unregulated processing power right back under the main divine network.
In this realignment, the rogue subsystem isn't deleted. God didn't destroy Pharaoh at this specific moment. Instead, Egypt's immense koach, its raw power, is repartitioned, overridden, and balanced within the greater whole, completely softened by the white and green of Jacob's Tiferet.
Finally, let's hit Section 6, integrating your dimensions. So how do we pull this macrocosmic event down into our micro daily lives? Because remember, these Sephirotic mechanics exist inside all of us. By identifying the unregulated, harsh judgments, those red Pharaoh-like forces within our own spiritual architecture, we can actually take action. When we find ourselves stuck in our own narrow places or bottlenecks, we don't need to destroy our own strength or passion. Instead, we apply Jacob's stabilizing code. We bring in the green and white of Tiferet to harmonize our personal dimensions, always aiming for that perfect integration of the 10 Sephirot.
So, what unstable subsystem in your life is waiting for a harmonizing blessing to become an allied force today? Think about where you can personally apply that admin override. Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardays. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.